What's going on, everybody? Welcome. And it's gonna be crazy for me to say this, but I gotta say it. It is official. Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter is the greatest entertainer of all time. Beyonce is the greatest of all time. And to be honest with you, I was thinking this for a little bit. I'm not even going front. I was thinking this for a little bit. You know, it's the big debate. With Beyonce versus Michael Jackson, who's the greatest of all time? Now let me tell you something right now. I'm not what you call it. What's called a member of the Beehive. We call it the Hive or whatever. People who just go overly about someone. They call them Beehive and all that stuff. I'm not that. I grew up a Michael Jackson fan. I was more of a Michael Jackson stan or Michael Jackson hive than any other artist. You know how every family has that one kid that they want to do the Michael when Michael Jackson comes on. That one kid that all the grumps say, "Hey, do the Michael Jackson, the moonwalking on the spin and stuff." I was that kid. I was the Michael Jackson dancer of the family. That was me. I was the kid that everyone in the family said he could do the Michael Jackson dance. Go ahead, show him. That was me. So I'm not just saying this like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm old enough. I was born when Thriller came out, and I lived through Thriller, and I lived through Bad and all that stuff. So Michael Jackson goes deep with me. It's deep with me. Like you really can't tell me nothing about Michael Jackson. But if I'm being honest, if I'm being honest, if I'm being unbiased, after me seeing the Homecoming documentary, and not just the Homecoming documentary, not just a documentary, I've seen multiple instances. Now, I've seen Michael Jackson live. I saw Michael Jackson at the Super Bowl. Okay, I saw Michael Jackson at the Super Bowl. I remember the Bad concert. Okay, I remember the Bad concert. Trust me when I tell you, I was alive when these things happened. I remember when the black and white video came out. I remember Thriller. I used to be afraid of Thriller. When Thriller first came out on VHS, and it was a mini movie, I was actually afraid to watch Thriller. My cousins used to tease me and try to scare me from watching Thriller. So I know what I'm talking about when I say this. Take all that into consideration. I know the impact he had. Trust me, I know the impact he had. I know the impact he had. I was alive during that time. See, most people who love Beyonce probably weren't alive or too young to even know about all of the Michael Jackson hype. I was around for the Michael Jackson hype and the Beyonce hype. I remember Michael Jackson when the black and white video came on, and Michael Jackson was so big and popular back then that when the black and white video came on, they actually blocked out a set of time on TV They stopped television programming to air Michael Jackson's black and white video. And then they banned it because part of it was too controversial. They had the full version and they had the edited version. When the full version came out, they shut TV down when the full version came out. And they had to ban it for a little bit and had to show the edited version. That's how popular Michael Jackson was. With all that being said, Beyonce knows Carter is the greatest entertainer of all time. Now, does she have the record sales of Michael Jackson? No, at least not yet. Does she have the impact of Michael Jackson? I can honestly say Beyonce is the only person I can honestly say she is the only person the only person alive who has the impact of Michael Jackson. Music wise, she can do everything that Michael Jackson can do because granted, she grew up with Michael Jackson too. She saw Michael Jackson influenced her, so so we understand that. The same way how James Brown influenced Michael Jackson influenced Beyonce. Granted. However, there are things that Beyonce possesses that we will never see again. Whenever you see a Beyonce performance, it is a performance. She can either do a whole performance, choreography, all that, or she can sit down or stand in one spot and sing. She can dance and sing. She can just dance. She can just sing. She can put on a performance. She can do every move that Michael Jackson does in heels. She can do everything that Michael Jackson does in heels while pregnant. Those two alone set apart her from Michael Jackson. Why? Because it is a physical toll that Michael Jackson knows nothing about. And him being a man, he will never know about. She is what happened. See, Michael Jackson was a prodigy. Prince was a prodigy, right? These things came natural to her. Beyonce was a prodigy. They just had a certain gift about them. Right? But the downfall about prodigies is usually the prodigy doesn't fully tap into their gifts and talents. Michael Jackson did it. Beyonce did it. But Beyonce did it to an almost... Beyonce is OCD. Beyonce has obsessive compulsive disorder. I seen the documentary. She has obsessive compulsive disorder. And that obsessive compulsive disorder is transferred into her gifts, skills, and talents. Where she spent 8 months, nearly a year, just to show a perfect 2-hour performance. 8 months funneled into 2 hours. Every detail, every single minute, minuscule, just Details that no one will ever pay attention to. No one would even think, the audience wouldn't even think about the stuff that she put her mind into. But all of that going into it, and she's doing this after she gives birth, C-section, to twins. They usually, every mother gets told, when you give birth, sit your behind down, whether it be a natural vaginal birth or whether it be C-section. Every mother gets told, sit down. You get told that during the last trimesters of pregnancy, and you get told that after you give birth. Sit your behind down, give yourself time to heal. What does she do? She gets prepared for her Coachella performance while she's healing. She gained weight from her being pregnant. She goes on one of the strictest, harshest diets that most health physicians will probably advise her against. I think if she were to go to any health physician and she told them what she was going to do to achieve this weight goal for this performance, I think any health physician would say, Mrs. Carter, I don't think this is a wise choice of what you're doing. And see, that's not it. This is the second time she performed while pregnant. She's done it before. I'm not talking about just the Coachella or the Baychella performance. I'm talking about before. Little dog, hey. She has performed. What? She has performed while pregnant in heels. She has performed after giving birth to twins in heels. And here's the thing. Every single performance that you see her do, you can never say there's a drop-off in performance level, in singing level, in dancing level. You never see her drop off. However, you've seen, as Michael Jackson got older, one, he's never done any of his moves in heels. We've seen Beyoncé do Michael Jackson's moves in heels. We've seen her do like the Bootylicious. She did Michael Jackson moves in the video in heels. We've never seen Michael Jackson perform any of his moves here. We've seen Prince perform his moves in heels. We've seen Prince do splits, spin around, all that stuff in heels. You never seen Michael Jackson do his moves in heels. We've never seen Michael Jackson perform pregnant because Michael Jackson can't get pregnant. He's a man. We've seen Beyoncé perform while pregnant. We've seen Beyoncé perform after giving birth to twins with a C-section scar. And nearly starved herself. And the whole time during that performance, I saw the Coachella performance, the Baychella performance. When you saw her perform, you couldn't tell if she did any of that. We didn't know she would do all that until the documentary came out. We thought it was a regular performance. That she just know. We knew she had twins, but we didn't know that she went through all of this. She went through all of this after giving birth to twins. And even if you want to go talent for talent, skill for skill, she matches Michael Jackson talent for talent, skill for skill. In my opinion, she could sing better than Michael Jackson. In my opinion, she could sing better than Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has her a little bit in dancing. He got her in dancing. But she can still match him. she can put, she's equal to him, and in a lot of cases, she can outperform him. She has the ability to outperform him. She can outsing him. Dancing, he got that, but she could still dance just as good as he can while pregnant or after giving birth. If that ain't a new level of, like, there's only two now. Like I said, I'm still a Michael Jackson fan. So I'm being unbiased when I say this. I gotta give it up. When you see it, you gotta give it up. When you see greatness at a different level, you have to recognize it and give it up and say, okay, you know what? Beyonce, you got that. Beyonce is the greatest entertainer of all time. I get it. I get it. She is the GOAT. I don't know what anyone else can do to rival her once she has gone. The next person to be in that category of Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and whoever else gotta do something so magnificent that you gotta walk on water if you want to be mentioned in that level. I'm being unbiased. Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter is the greatest entertainer of all time. Wow. I didn't want to give that up. I didn't want to give that crown up. But I gotta give it up. I've seen too much. I've seen enough evidence. And she's gotten better over the years. There have been times where we saw Michael Jackson drop off a little bit. We have yet to see a drop off of Beyonce. We have yet to see a drop off of Beyonce. From the time from when she was on Girls Time, The Destiny's Child, to her solo career, we have yet to see a drop off of Beyonce. However, we've seen, and she ain't new. She's been around for over 20 years. So not like I'm just saying like she's a new note. She's been around for 20 years. She's had her group success. She's had her solo success. We've seen a few times Michael Jackson's albums dropped off, even though he's still Michael Jackson. They're going to do well. They dropped off for his standard. His standard, some of them may have dropped off. For others, they may be a classic. We have yet to see a drop off from Beyonce. She just dropped a album with some music we already know about. Before that is Everything Is Love with her husband Jay-Z. I love that album. Then before Everything Is Love, you had Lemonade. Lemonade is a classic. She's gotten better every single time we see her for over 20 years straight. You gotta give it to her. Yeah. Like I said, I'm being unbiased. I was born and raised a Michael Jackson fan. Born and raised a Michael Jackson fan. But I gotta be honest. Beyonce is the greatest entertainer of all time. Wow. Anyway, thank you all for watching, listening. I'll catch you all later. Peace.